That's right. Don't teach just one note at a time for children. Teach notes in a pattern because that's how children learn best. Why? Because they're already used to comparing. Is this the same or is it different? They've done it in my piano class from the very beginning. And this transfers to children being able to read music within a pattern instead of isolated notes. Let's take a peek inside a beginning piano class. It's a small group setting. It's early in the year, and the children are being prepared to learn quarter note and eighth note. So here's the sequence. They learned this poem last week. Apple, peach, pear, plum. Tell me when your birthday comes. They did not see this page. They just heard me say the poem. I played the drum, the heartbeat, I call it, or steady beat. I played the rhythm sticks. I ask every child their birthday. And this is a small group setting, so I had about 4 children. And then they each had a turn to play the beat on the drum and ask each other their birthdays. This is a small group. Everybody has a turn. But the importance of that, as they're saying it over and over, while they just think they're playing a game, and they are having a good time, they are already listening and hearing, internalizing that music. And they're going to be able to contrast that quarter note from the eighth notes with the steady beat. Sometimes I'll say the poem all the way through, but most of the time I'm just going to pretend that the children have said it all the way through. So let's get started. And I love the way you kept the heartbeat with me as you said the poem. Now I want you to say the poem again, and I'm going to hold up a picture or page I want you to help me with. Yeah, you're right. There's birthday candles, and I see some on the cake. And just like you talked about last week about your birthday. So say it with me, and when I finish, I'm not going to use my drum or my rhythm sticks. Tell me how I kept the steady beat. Beat, beat, here we go. Apple, peach, pear, plum. Tell me when your birthday comes. How did you see that steady beat? Yes, I touched the heartbeats on the page. I had 2 rows. There's a pattern going here, and then there's a second pattern. Now, I would like for you to look in your piano book, page 10. Yeah, you already have that paper clip from the song from last week that we just went over before we did Apple, Peach, Pear, Plum. So you're ready to go. Now, I want you to say the poem, and I want you to touch the heartbeats. Beat, beat, ready, say. Apple, peach, great. And my favorite thing, I was watching you all touch the same heartbeats across the first row and then that second row pattern, and you stop exactly together on the very last heartbeat. That was so good. I want you to do it again. I'm just going to stand here and listen to you and watch those fingers. Ready, beat, beat, here we go. Apple, peach, great. I want you to say the poem again, but this time, instead of looking at your music, I want you to look at my music. And I want you to notice how I'm touching the page. And when I finish, tell me if it's the same or different from what you did. Here we go. Apple, peach, pear, plum. Tell me when your birthday comes. Yep, it was different. I didn't touch the heartbeats. Yes, I touched the candles. I touched every candle, and there were enough candle pictures for every word, a part of the word of the poem. Now, I want you to look at the candles. Do they look all exactly the same? The heartbeats are the same. Oh, yeah, you're right. There's some big ones, and there's some little ones. Now, I noticed, let me look at this one. Look where I'm pointing. Well, look at this big one. When there's a big one under a heartbeat, how many big candles are sitting under that beat? Yeah, just one. Oh, I know you already answered it. You knew what I was going to say. When they're little, there's always 2 under the heartbeats. Now, I want you to do that with me. So you're going to look in your own book and you're going to touch every candle and you're going to have just enough pictures, candle pictures, for all the words of the poem. So you're going to start touching the first candle on the first word. Bead, bead, touch and say, apple, peach, pear, plum. Tell me when your birthday comes. Great. I am not even going to do anything except cross my arms and just rest and watch you do all the work. I want you to touch every candle. Here you go. Apple, peach. Good for you. Now, did you notice that I said you touched every candle and there were just enough pictures for all the words? So you were touching the way the words go. Now, musicians have a special word for that. I want you to look over here at the whiteboard. Here is a hard word. Musicians call that rhythm. Say that word, rhythm. And what does rhythm mean? The way the words go. So it's all of the sounds. So now I want you to touch again, but this time I'm going to say the poem and touch the rhythm. Beat, beat, ready, say. Apple, peach, good for you. Instead of touching this time, we're going to clap the rhythm and say the poem. When you clap the rhythm, you're really playing the music. So you're going to do this hand still, just like that drum was still or the rhythm stick, and your hand on top is going to play the rhythm. So you're going to play quietly and say the poem. I want you to be just like me. I'm a rhythm statue. This hand still, this hand's on top, ready to play, and I'm stiff as a statue, but I'm going to come to life when I hear beat, beat, ready, clap. Apple, peach, pear, plum. Tell me when your birthday comes. Good for you. I want you to look up here at this page that I have of apple, peach, pear, plum. Yeah, I've already colored my page. And don't worry, just like every week, you're going to have time with those colored pencils to color yours. But right now, I want you to notice something that I've done. We said there were some big and some littles, right? Well, whenever there was a big one, I drew a line. And I started at the top and I went all the way down. And you know what? I just drew a long line. So I'm going to call that long. Now, over here, when I drew the line for these little ones, compared to this long line, these were short. So I'm going to draw short, short. Now, why did I say short, short? I'm going to call it that. Yeah, because there's 2. So I want you to take your pencil and I want you to draw lines just like I did on top of the candle. And don't worry, you can still color over it and you'll be able to see them. So you draw all your short, short, and long lines, and I'm going to watch that. Ooh, it looks like everyone's doing that. No problem. You're already done. Good. Look up here, and instead of saying the words, I'm going to say the rhythm names because the long is the one sound and the short, short are the 2 sounds. Listen first and watch. Short, short, long, 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 short, 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 long. So I touched 2 times and I said short, short, and long. I would like for you to do that. I want you to touch and read your rhythm names, which is the long and short, short patterns. Beat, beat, ready, go. Short, short, long, long. Good for you. Now let's be a rhythm statue again. Instead of touching, I want you to read your short, short, long pattern. Here you go. Short, short, long, long, long. Short, 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 long. Yay. Let's see, I'm going to rest my arms again. You get to read your long and short, short, or read your rhythm, right? I'm going to use that hard word again. You're going to read your rhythm names, the long and short, short sounds. Here you go. Short, short, long, long. Good. I love the way you're able to do that. Very good. Now I want you to make sure your clip's there because you're going to be practicing your long and short, short at home this week. But you need another clip because we have 2 more pages that you're going to do in your book today that have the long and short, short sounds. So I'm going to put it over here on each of you. I'm going to give you another clip to take home. Your purple paper clip. That helps you remember, doesn't it, for piano class. So yeah, we've sung Rain, Rain, and we played a game with it. And there's Bounce High, and we played that game. But this time, I see that there are some big and little pictures. Just like we saw the big and little pictures on Apple, Peach, Pear, Plum. So I want you right now to take your book and go to the table where you see those colored pencils, and you know what to do. You can start coloring them, but listen for your name. And so when you hear your name, you're going to come up over here to your keyboard with your book, and you're going to practice playing your long and short, short patterns as you play the notes and play the song on the black keys. And yeah, we're going to have time to play a game today too. We'll get the ball out for Bounce High for sure. I followed in this part of the lesson a very specific child developmental way to teach. In other words, the way a child learns. This is based upon the Kodály method. And in the Kodály method, children are prepared to read music and they experience it in 3 different ways. And that's what happened today. First, they experienced it physically. They touched the beat. They touched the rhythm. They clapped the rhythm, and then they were able to compare that. They're touching. Then they experienced it orally. They heard the sounds, the shorter sounds with the words, and then when they were saying the long and short, short sounds, they could hear the difference. And then visually, when they saw the icons and pictures, and then they drew those long and short, short sounds. So they'll be thoroughly prepared to read and name quarter note and eighth notes next week. So the first thing we'll do is review the long and short, short sounds in the lines. Then I will add the note heads and the stems, and I will name these as quarter notes and eighth notes. And I will tell the children that musicians, when they read, they call the quarter note ta, because that's just one sound with their mouth as they're reading that. And they call the eighth notes ti, 2 short sounds instead of eighth note, eighth note. Then they will look in their book, and they're going to see, this time instead of the pictures, they have another page of Apple, Peach, Pear, Plum, but it's reading the rhythm. So there you have it. Children learn best in patterns. And this poem that we did today, the other things are taken from this book that I've written, Play and Play. And it is a piano book for beginners exclusively using game songs and activities. So I would like for you to click like below and look in the description and see how you can get a free copy of this poem and then this lesson sequence and those pages that the children use. And I would like you to subscribe to my channel, Play in Piano Class, and watch for more videos where I show you how I teach music, beginning piano to children using singing games and activities. It's fun for the kids and it's fun for the teachers.